What's up, everybody? This is yours truly, Roberto Lorenzo Ferguson, aka Robert Ferguson. Hey, I'm thankful that you are here today. I'm your nutritionist, a guy who shares because I care. And boy, over the last week have we been busy. I want to invite you to listen in because I want to invite you to something you can be a part of. And it's a movement. It's a movement where we are literally helping people. It's a food as medicine approach. And all you really need is to have the heart of a teacher, have some empathy and compassion, and want to share. You know what I mean? Like you want to share with people. You know, it's like we live in this world right now where many people can see that we're on this plane to where the rich will continue to get richer, the haves, and the poor will, and others will become poorer, the have-nots. And the middle ground or the middle class, I see it fading. And I see way more challenges coming with that. Now, at the same time, I know because I've been doing this, helping people lose weight, improve metabolic health, get off medications, optimize blood sugar levels, and win. I've been doing it for 29 years. I live it, I teach it, I promote it, I've written books about it, I've published studies, clinical studies. Everything I do is evidence-based. In this space of health and nutrition, I know. I really do. I mean, I've spent quality time with the great late Jack LaLanne. I've spent quality time with the late great Dick Gregory. I've spent time with people who are making it happen right now. I mean, Dr. Andrew Wild, and the list goes on and on. So I've been around some good quality people, and I've learned a whole bunch. And today I want to share with you one of the biggest lies that continues to be spread when it comes to losing weight. Most people that you talk to, if they're not in the space that I'm in, or maybe you're in the same space that I'm in as far as helping people with nutrition and health, but most people don't know what I'm about to share with you. They really don't. And it may be hard for you to believe. And what I'm talking about is calories. If you talk to your doctor or the average person you have a conversation with, somewhere in that conversation, you're going to hear someone say, well, you just got to watch your calories. Oh, just eat less, move more. It's not true. I've been saying this for years. So let me preface before I share a little video with you. And the video is going to help me help you better understand this. And before we dive into that part, I want to encourage you to reach out to me for a free consultation. Some of you are like just making one little mistake. There's like one thing that if you learned, you would be on your way. There are many people who get on their way and then they get in their own way. It's kind of like when I start coaching someone and they don't even make it past 30 days. They think they know, they don't know. Trust me. Talk to my clients that I've been coaching for a year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 10 plus years. Talk to them. And they'll tell you like why they continue to be my client. Because they are on top. They are informed. They are like on it. And if you are not in my space and you're not watching and reading all the literature and staying up to date with where nutrition science is, then you're behind. You're really missing out. So this is one of those moments where I want everyone to know this. So please share this with other people, because losing weight is not solely based on counting your calories. It's not real. It's not real. And it's a lie that keeps being told again and again and again. And it's part of how people are indoctrinated. My kids are learning about calories. It's in all of the medical books. It's everywhere. It's most people really believe that it's about calories, and I get it. Since you were born, your entire life, that's been endorsed, it's been advocated that calories count. But here's the deal, and it's not just my opinion. Everyone from the World Health Organization to the National Institute of Health all agree with what I'm going to share with you. There's many doctors and people in the space. Finally, we all agree on this one thing. When it's time to lose weight or to improve health, calories can count because they give you structure, but they don't count. So it's like this oxymoron, right? Or this moment where you're stuck in hypocrisy, because on one side I'm saying calories count, but then on another side I'm saying they don't. That's because we know that it's more about the quality of the food that you're eating and how your hormones respond to that food. Now, I've been teaching this for years, okay, years. And when I go and do presentations for Fortune 20 companies, I don't lead with this because then you got to prove your case. It's too much of a headache. So I don't talk about this a lot, but I wanted to take today just a moment, and hopefully my coaches are hearing this, which I know they get it. My soon-to-be coaches, some of you may become a coach. If you're a client of mine, please hear me, okay? Before I play the video, one more thing. I just want to just throw this out there. And you know what? I'm not going to throw it out there. We're just going to watch the video, and then I'm going to walk you through it, okay? I'm going to walk you through it. So without further delay, let's start with watching this video, okay? Pay close attention and post any questions that you have. Please share, like, subscribe if you haven't done that already. There are links below, so check them out. Something may pertain to you, and if you want to just get in touch with me, reach out to me, all right? Okay, check this out.
And calories out? Well, come on. That's an ancient term that most of us have been following blindly and still are. In fact,
this is the biggest lie in the history of medicine.
There's never been any long-term study showing that calorie counting is an effective way to lose weight and maintain weight loss.
That the calorie counts make no sense.
Never count calories. It's silly.
Is that the human body actually has no way of measuring calories.
It's complete nonsense.
It was wrong from the day it was conceived, and it will be wrong till the day we finally trash it.
We've been doing it wrong all along. The food industry, for the sake of their protection, has brainwashed us so much that we don't even bother to know the truth. With the world advancing so fast in science, technology, health, and so on, it's time that we also advance our knowledge and get smart enough to actually understand the reality to change our lives for the better. According to multiple world-class health experts and scientists, a calorie eaten is not a calorie absorbed.
Okay, let me just pause real quick. Just pause real quick. So as you can see, there's a whole bunch. There's way more doctors, way more nutritionists, way more dietitians. But then there's more of those people that still believe that it's all about calories. It is not. It's not. So stop that lie. You know, it's kind of like, let me give you an example. Okay. The example I want to give you is, this is what I'll hear people say a lot. Okay. And tell me if you've ever heard this. Muscle weighs the same as, or no, muscle weighs more than fat. Have you ever heard someone say that? Muscle weighs more than fat. Have you heard anybody say that? I hear that all the time from people who are really into fitness, people who teach nutrition and health. Muscle does not weigh more than fat. So when you hear people say that, stop them. Okay, think of me saying gold weighs more than feathers. Well, an ounce of gold would be the same weight of an ounce of feathers. The difference is that the gold will take up this much space, and the feathers that get in an ounce will take up a lot of, like, amazing amount of space. Same when it comes to muscle and fat. Muscle does not weigh more than fat. A pound is a pound no matter what it is. The difference is that fat takes up more space than muscle. So let's say this is a pound of muscle. Then 5 of these would be a pound of fat. Fat takes up more space. Muscle's more dense. Gold's more dense. Feathers take up more space. So when people say muscle weighs more than fat, I know what they're kind of saying, but it's like, I got to stop them because that's not true. Okay. Same as this whole calorie thing. So let's keep watching.
The number of calories we eat is not equal to the number of calories we absorb into our body. Now, to explain this, let's use almond as an example. Let's say you eat 160 calories of almonds. There are 2 kinds of fiber in almonds, soluble fiber and insoluble fiber. These fibers block the absorption of simple sugars such as glucose, fructose, and sucrose in the small intestine, so they don't reach the liver, causing it to overwork, therefore protecting the liver and keeping it healthy, because if the liver did receive those simple sugars, it would convert the excess into fat, and the insulin generated in response would undesirably start to store those excess fats into your body, so you only absorb 130 calories from this process. But what about the remaining 30 calories? They travel further down to the big intestine, where the bacteria live, and the remaining 30 calories become their food source. So from the 160 calories of almonds that you ate, 19% of it were for your microbiome living in your large intestine. Therefore, the number of calories we eat is not equal to the number of calories we absorb. And this not only applies to almonds, but it also applies to all kinds of foods. Depending on the type of food, we can absorb less or even higher number of calories despite what the food label actually shows. Let's use another example.
Okay, now before we give another example, let me give you an example. Think about this. And this is for that person who says, like, what do you mean? Like when they question you, if you say it doesn't matter about calories, you could easily say, would you assume that 100 calories of broccoli would be equal to 100 calories of jelly beans? So 100 calories of broccoli, 100 calories of broccoli, is that the same as 100 calories of jelly beans? And everybody would say no. So how could all of this be based on calories in versus calories out? Now, I know the history of how we got to this point, and I understand what indoctrination means. And I know that the medical books aren't going to be rewritten anytime soon. So everything just keeps being regurgitated to the next group of people. And then they have to go through a long period of their life and hopefully get to a place where they wake up and they discover that, you know what? It's not just about calories. It's about more than that. It's the hormonal response to food and things that aren't food. The hormonal response to supplements. There are people who take certain supplements and they just take them. They don't even know why they're taking them. They just take them. And they have no clue that the supplements, even the way they're packaged, may be causing some harm. But they don't know how to do their own due diligence. And I get that. And that's why I'm here. And there's people like me that are available to help guide people. It's really interesting. It's about the hormonal response. And that's what we teach when we're coaching someone. Not in the first 30 days, because the first 30 days is what we call a discovery phase, right? So I got to work with you a little bit. And once I've worked with you a little bit, then I can take you to a whole nother level and give you this added knowledge that you wouldn't just get, which is where the value is. That's what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? So let's finish this video. Let's finish the video.
Now, if you eat a 100-calorie sweet corn and go do your business in the loo, The next day, you'll know that you've absorbed nowhere near a 100 calorie of sweet corn. But if you take the same 100 calorie sweet corn and turn it into flour tortilla and eat it, then you'll get a lot more calories out of the exact same amount of corn.
You will extract different amounts of calories from the food, even though we're working with exactly the same food.
Calories do not come with instructions as to what to do in our body. It's the hormone that make the changes in our body.
Did you hear that? So I'm in full agreement. That's why I'm sharing this video with you. I'm in full agreement, you guys. Now, someone posted a question or a statement. They said, concentrate on macronutrients and micronutrients. Now, that sounds great, but I would like to hear what you mean by that, because there's a lot of people who understand macros, and their whole goal is, I'm going to get so much protein, I'm going to get so many carbs, I'm going to get so much fat. That's still not going to be enough. That's why it's not working for people long term, or it won't get them to where they most want to be. Because what is the quality of the protein? Like, I'll give you an example. Let's say that you ate protein. Did you know that when you consume protein, high quality protein, with fat, an adequate amount of fat, you have better, it absorbs better, is more available. The bioavailability is increased significantly when you consume protein with fat. Like, huge difference. Like, if you ate egg whites, right? There's people who eat egg whites, and that's indoctrination. They're doing that because someone bodybuilded or did a fitness show, or that's just part of what they do because they cut out the fat. And there could be a time for that, but they would get better absorbability from the protein in that egg white if they had fat. And protein synthesis is increased, which means the foods that you're eating that has amino acids in it, protein, way more likely to benefit you when you consume it with fat. So an adequate amount of protein with the right types of fat means better for everybody. And there's little things like this that the average person's like, so would I be better off to eat the egg yolk, the fat, with the protein? Or should I cut out the fat and just go with the protein? You're going to get better results if you keep the fat in. Now, when you get into bodybuilding and all that, there are certain things that you got to do completely different from a lifestyle, which that doesn't mean it's good for your body or your metabolism to get to look a certain way. But for all of us who are not looking to live on a stage for the rest of our lives, protein with fat is your friend. Okay, so let's finish the video and then I'll conclude. Okay, this is going good. I hope you guys are getting this. I hope it's going well.
The hormone are provoked by different types of calories coming from different kinds of foods. When we eat carbs, the hormone insulin goes up. When we eat protein, the hormone mTOR goes up. So when insulin goes up, our body stores the energy mainly as fats. And when mTOR goes up, our body builds and repairs our muscle tissues. At the same time.
Okay, real quick. He mentioned mTOR, which most of you probably don't know what that is. But mTOR is very important when it comes to protein synthesis. So you got to eat certain things and certain amino acids, and you got to consume a certain amount of protein. I've talked a lot about this. But then he also mentions, insulin, the insulin response. When I ask people what causes a greater insulin response, would it be fruit in its natural state? Or would it be, let's say, a hamburger patty? Almost everyone, every time I ask that question, will say fruit because they're thinking sugar. They're not thinking insulin. The correct answer is the hamburger patty. And it's because of what takes place inside of the gut microbiome, inside of your intestinal tract, that causes a greater insulin response. So it's the quality of the food, because if you replace the hamburger patty, which was broken up, then put back together into a patty, and let's say you went with a steak, which it had never been broken up, it's still in its natural state, you would have a completely different insulin response. I mean, I know it's fascinating. It really is. Okay. Let's see if we can finish the video, and then I'll give you my final. And if you guys have more questions, bring them. Okay. Remember, this is all based on helping you understand that it's not about calories. And almost everybody you talk to is still thinking calories. And they're wrong. They unfortunately, they just aren't aware. They don't know any better. And some of you will go, yeah, they're wrong. But then you're at a place where you can't really explain it. So you can watch this video again. And then trust me, I'll be talking about it again and again and again, and in different ways. All right, let's keep it moving.
Time, giving us the feeling of satiation. Different foods, even if they have the exact same number of calories, give out completely different instructions to our body because of the different hormonal responses triggered. In simple words, if you eat a 500-calorie chocolate bar, the hormone insulin will spike, causing you to store more fat. But if you eat 500 calories of fatty meat, the hormone mTOR will increase, instructing your body to build and repair muscles instead, making you feel full. So, the quality of the food is what matters, not the calories. You want to activate the right hormones.
Oh, man. Let me see. Can I rewind that? The quality of the food is what matters, not counting calories. Same as counting macros, counting micronutrients. Again, most people are torn. There's some information that's coming to you about calories. Some of you are like, oh, I just need to cut my calories. We can use calories. I'm not saying they don't matter. I am not saying that. But they're not primary. It's the hormonal response. Okay. Now, someone asked a question about, for those who are insulin resistant, what needs to change? Okay, I'll tackle that. I'll end by answering that question. But let's finish this video.
Dead, making you feel full. So, the quality of the food is what matters, not the calories. You want to activate the right hormones to bring good changes in your body rather than the bad hormones, which can adversely affect your health, leading to the development of certain illnesses. So how can we judge the quality of food? Ideally, according to the world's leading geneticist Dr. Giles Yeo, you should focus on eating foods that are high in protein and fiber and low in sugar, such as vegetables, whole grains, fish and eggs. It will not just aid you in weight loss, but make you healthier, keep you in a good mood, and prevent or reverse the effects of certain illnesses such as diabetes, obesity, and high cholesterol.
Well, there you have it. That was a good video. So I would say watch it again. Okay. What do we do when it comes to those of us who are insulin resistant? For the last 2 weeks since I partnered with this new company, it has given me a newfound excitement, feeling of hope, because we're finally in a position where we don't have to count on doctors to do certain tests. So with this new company that I partner with, and then other coaches and clients and people who have heard me have reached out to learn more, who are now my partner, we are in a position where we can test people and we can find out on a cellular level what is made up in their body as it pertains to certain fats. And in doing that, it ties in directly to the role of inflammation in our body. So if you have inflammation, then you want to reach out to me about this, because what I'm sharing right now can help that. 2, inflammation is one of the drivers for insulin resistance on a cellular level. So we know that it can take over 600 days on a cellular level to get those cells back in balance. Hear what I'm saying? And it's all evidence-based. It's all supported. We're so clear on this. So imagine I could test you, and then we know. There's no guessing. And then you have the option to change some of your eating. Okay. Some of it could be a little challenging, some of it may not. Or you could take this product that we now have that is food-based, quality, very high level. I've been looking for something like this for over 20 years. And now I have it. Now I have it. So if someone has insulin resistance, schedule a free consultation. Reach out to me, because you don't got to live with that. You really don't. And you can be part of the movement, because education is the leader, right? Nutrition education is king. And I love the fact that we can test. Now I'm going to do some other videos on this in the next week, probably in about 10 days before the month is up. And I'm sharing this information in the month of March 2024. And I'm going to be sharing more. But what I'm doing is people who are connecting with me and coming on board and being part of this team, because they can make some money too. I'm helping them right now. And once we got it going, right, then I want to start really putting it out there and sharing this information that I know for a fact is going to help people. Okay, in a big way. So let me see what kind of questions we have. Okay, nutrition education is king. Thank you for whoever shared that. Let me see. So Sandy knows what I'm talking about. Sandy just said, I'm anxiously awaiting my results, because she got the test. She got the test. You know, it's like, imagine if you guys know anything about diabetes, but imagine not being able to go to the doctor, or going to the doctor, but they never check your hemoglobin A1C. And let's say that they're not checking it, but your sugar levels are way up there. You are a full-blown type 2 diabetic. But no one's checking. There's no screening. There's no test. Now, you'll live with it for a while, and eventually you'll pass out, potentially go into a coma, because your sugar levels will be getting worse and worse and worse and worse. And as a result of them getting worse and worse and worse and worse, eventually things start breaking. But fortunately, we can do a hemoglobin A1C. We can do a fasting glucose and get an idea of where you are. So that test makes it possible for you to really live your best and no longer guessing. And the same thing as it pertains to what I'm sharing today. A big part of reversing insulin resistance is avoiding certain things and making sure you consume certain things. And when you do that, because we have a test, we can test again in 4 months. And not only will you see improvements, you know, with the scale weight and body fat and all those things, but on a cellular level, we'll see things come into balance. I don't even know what else to say about that. Because when you present it to someone, I mean, it's kind of like, you know how women will go and they will get tested to see if they have a gene that basically says in time they will get breast cancer. So many of these women will get a double mastectomy, get their breast removed so they don't even have to think about it. Okay, the test will tell you to do that. Same as this test. It's very interesting. I'm telling you. Right now, you know, if you haven't talked to me in a while, whoever you are, if you used to be my client, if you're thinking about becoming my client, if you just want to learn more, if you just want to be part of the movement and potentially make some extra money, you better reach out to me. Because what's going to happen, and I've already seen this happen in the last 2 weeks. I told some of my coaches, I shared this with them, and I said, hey, this makes sense. I'm doing this. And they came on board. And when they came on board, I was able to put them in a winning position. I put them in a winning position. And now they're already like, I mean, you're talking less than 2 weeks. I mean, if you looked at it as rank, they're already getting ranks and they don't even know why they're getting ranks. It's because it's a movement and we're going to help each other, help other people. So great time, man, great time. And when I share the details with you, you'll get it. But soon, in about a couple weeks, I'll do a presentation and I'll promote it and I'll tell you all about it. And we'll have a video that explains it, or schedule a free consultation with me. Get on my calendar, and then I'll bring clarity to it. Plus, we can catch up. It doesn't cost any money to do a free consultation. Okay. It really doesn't. So I would definitely reach out. It's one of those things, don't put off until tomorrow what you can do right now, today. Okay. Anyway, so remember, you guys, calories don't count. They count, but they don't count. And anytime someone's talking about calories, keep this link, go on YouTube. You can forward this to them, and it'll help them at least think differently, because it's not just about calories. Think about when Weight Watchers used to be all about calories, and then it was all about points. And they kept changing, wasn't progressing, just kept changing. And now they're selling drugs. Now they've just admitted, we're going after the money. And Oprah's like, I'm going after more money. So she steps down from the board. Oh, trust, I got a lot to say about Oprah after her thing next week. And now she's allegedly invested big time into these weight loss drugs. And she's going for more money. I mean, damn, if you got $2 billion, you got nobody really to leave it to. It ain't like she's 27. You want more money? And you're willing to risk people's health? Because there's a lot of smoke around what's about to happen with some of these people who've been on these GLP-1 drugs. It ain't looking good. And some of you are on it. You're just ignorant. You don't know any better. And God forbid, the things that I know that is coming, I pray that it doesn't happen to you. God bless you. Or get off. Transition now. Because they're not telling you everything. Same thing that happened. Think about it. Weren't we just shut down? And people just jumped and ran and just like sheep just did what everybody said. And now we know the truth now. And some people are no longer here. Some people are dealing with all these side effects. And some people will be gone. Because they made a decision. They just rushed because, well, that person did it. That person did it. I'm going to do it. Same thing's going to happen with the GLP drugs. If not worse. It's already happening. It ain't looking good. So I know you want to look a certain way. I always believe it comes down to self-esteem. How much do you love yourself? And some of us just don't love ourselves. I get that. That's why when I'm coaching people, I'm helping to pour into that person. Because a big part of our success is getting to the place where we love ourselves. We all benefit from that. Okay. Anyway, I'm Robert Ferguson, you guys. I am loving it. Now, tonight I will be on live with Hammer Girl, and then we're going to go to Telegram. So make sure you're around. We'll talk about a whole bunch of things tonight. It's going to be a fun conversation. So that'll be around 5:30 Pacific, 8:30 Eastern. Me and Hammer Girl will be coming live. And then after about 30 minutes, we'll jump over to Telegram. The links will be provided. It's free to go to Telegram. Doesn't cost anything. And then we kind of have like a conversation after the show. So anyway, I'll see you then. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. And until the next one, I'm Roberto Lorenzo Ferguson, your nutritionist who shares because he cares. Let's do this. Peace out.